we will go ahead and introduce our first presenter. We have Rob from Priority. This is Rob Roberts. Rob with Priority.
All right, we'll get there. Okay, so even though I'm wearing Humana colors today, I am Priority Health, so thank you for attending. There's only so many versions of green, I don't know. So I love the fact that Stephanie said whenever there is disruption in any industry, there is opportunity. Because that is the exact approach that we've taken in our filing with CMS for 2025. A little bit about Priority Health. Oh, are we good? All right, so a little bit about Priority Health. We are the #1 carrier in Michigan. For those of you who aren't aware of that, we have more membership than anyone else. And the interesting thing is, if you spreadsheet us, we're not the lowest out of pocket, and we're not the highest ancillary benefit, right? So how do we become the #1 carrier in Michigan when that's the case? And it's through customer service. It's through customer service. J.D. Power has named us #1 in customer satisfaction in Michigan. And Newsweek has named us 2nd in the nation for customer service. And that's how you become the #1 carrier in the state when you're a low regional carrier over in the west side of Michigan and Grand Rapids, okay? So you couple that service, and what does service mean for you guys? Who likes doing customer service? Oh, come on, nobody loves customer service, right? I mean, it gives you the opportunity to develop a relationship with your client and show them that what you do, and so there's some good aspects to customer service. But if we can handle the customer service for you, what does that leave you to do? Go out and sell, grow your book of business, right? So you couple customer service with a great provider directory. Provider directory is 95% of docs in the Lower Peninsula, every hospital. We have on every one of our plans the Travel Pass. Travel Pass allows the beneficiary to seek services from any provider outside the Lower Peninsula within the United States and be billed as in-network. All our PPO plans, all our HMO POS plans. So the bottom line there is the services that you sell your client, they can access. You couple that with great customer service, and that's how you become the #1 carrier without being the lowest out of pocket and without being the highest ancillary benefits. It's stable. We're a stable company. When you place your client with Priority Health and you call them the next year to see if they want to renew, their response is, I can see the doctors I want to see. I get somebody who speaks English when I call customer service that I can understand. I'm good. I'm good. Right? That frees you up to be able to grow your book of business. That's how we become the #1 carrier, okay, in the state of Michigan. We do have a little video here real quick. It's just 2 minutes. Sometimes the volume is a little wonky. If that's the case, we'll just get through it. But our VP of Medicare put this together for us, so hopefully you can hear it. We'll see.
At Priority Health, we understand that your client's health and well-being is your top priority. That's why we're committed to providing our agents with the best tools and support to help you succeed. A cornerstone of what makes Priority Health exceptional is our award-winning customer service.
At Priority Health, our customer service is designed to exceed expectations. We know that navigating healthcare can be complex, and our team is here to simplify it for you and your clients. Whether it's answering detailed questions about plan benefits, assisting with claims, or guiding you through our agent tools, we are here to support you every step of the way.
Our Medicare experts are trained to provide personalized assistance, ensuring every interaction is seamless and informative. Personalized care is at the heart of everything we do. Our care managers exemplify the compassionate and comprehensive support we offer.
As a care manager at Priority Health, my team and I work to ensure members receive tailored care and support. This includes coordinating medical appointments, facilitating access to essential healthcare and providing guidance through the healthcare system. Our goal is to make navigating healthcare easy and as simple as possible for both you and your clients.
Providing this level of personalized care enhances the value of our products by making your clients' experiences more positive and reassuring. At Priority Health, we're dedicated to being the best option for your clients. Our value proposition is clear. Your client's health is our priority, and we'll take care of your clients so you can focus on growing your business.
We know your time as an agent is valuable. Stick to a carrier you can trust to deliver innovative plans with longevity in mind. Our local territory managers are dedicated to your success, providing personalized support and expert guidance to help you offer the best solutions to your clients.
With Priority Health, you can be confident you have a partner who values integrity, excellence, and the health of your clients. We're more than just a health plan. We're your partner in success, and we'll work tirelessly to ensure that you and your clients receive the best care and support every step of the way. Priority Health, your client's health, our priority. Learn more at PriorityHealth.com.
Okay. All right. So that just kind of speaks to what we were talking about just a little bit earlier. But I love the fact that Stephanie had indicated whenever there's a disruption in the market, that creates opportunity, right? It creates opportunity. And this is the approach that we've kind of taken to solve the Inflation Reduction Act for 2025. Everyone's familiar with the Inflation Reduction Act as far as what's going on, right? Carriers are getting paid less, and they're expected to get paid or pay out more in Part D drugs. That's the bottom line. You guys are independent business owners. If you have less money coming in, you got more money going out, what's that mean? It's not good. It's not good. You got to make some changes, right? The approach that we're taking to solve the Inflation Reduction Act and that problem that I just explained, the Inflation Reduction Act, is for every carrier. Every carrier's got to solve that problem, okay? The way we're choosing to solve that problem is to make those changes to the plans that we feel we need to make in order to remain stable in 2026 and 2027. Give you the tools to help you renew your book of business in 2025 so that you're ready when that disruption occurs to grow your book of business because your book is already renewed and taken care of. Okay? The other approach could be a gradual, right, down to where the market started or down to where the market's going to end up due to the Inflation Reduction Act. And if you follow and you chase that market over the next couple of years, all you're going to be doing is rolling your book over. You're not going to have any time to grow. So we took a much different approach. We want you guys to have your book of business renewed, get them set aside, educate them, give you the tools to help you renew your book. If anyone, through those tools, calls us and we renew your client on your behalf, whether it's with the same plan or a different plan within Priority Health, you're going to remain agent of record. We're going to help you renew your book of business. Okay? Because we want to position you for growth through this disruption, just as Stephanie has indicated. That's why we've kind of taken this approach. Okay? We're going to give you things like ANOC videos that you can send out to your clients if you choose to. Through any of those videos, if they call us and we renew them, you're going to remain agent of record. I think what's going to happen here is not very many people read their ANOCs, right? I don't know what that percentage is. I know it's not a lot. AEP coming up, probably going to be a little busier than normal. Some people have educated themselves on the Inflation Reduction Act. Some people are aware of that. Some people read their ANOCs. I think the real disruption is going to be during OEP. When they go to use that plan and their copay changed. And then who are they going to call? Call you guys. They're going to call you guys. When you're in that position during OEP, we want to make sure your book is renewed already. We're going to help you renew that book so that when those people call their agent's chasing all their book because they didn't do that work ahead of time, you're available. I'm happy to help you out. Come on, Ken Burkhoff. Come on. I know I'm doing a song and dance up here, but that's a little outrageous. So, when you guys, who was around 20 years ago when MAPD plans began? One guy. The guy whose phone didn't. Not surprising. All right, so When MAPD plans came about, there were premiums, there were deductibles, and there were no ancillary, right? That's where we started. Where we are now, 0 deductible, 0 premium, and every ancillary under the sun. I mean, we'll pay electrical bills, for God's sakes, right? So CMS has said, we're getting a little out of control here. We're getting a little out of control. We gotta pull the reins back just a little bit. If we're paying you this much money where you can pay $100 give backs or electrical bills, we're getting away from what Medicare is really designed to be, which is medical coverage, right? That's my personal opinion. That's not Priority Health's position, okay? But I think that's kind of what's going on here, right? So CMS has said, all right, we're going to start paying you less, and we're going to require you pay out more in Part D drugs, right? And again, that's the situation that every carrier finds themselves in. How are they going to solve that problem? I have financial stability listed on here, and I'll also kind of speak to that is, as I mentioned before, we are the #1 carrier in Michigan, and we're owned by the largest health system in Michigan. We're actually the largest employer in Michigan, Corewell Health. Only second to the state of Michigan itself in number of employees. So we're very financially stable. And again, we designed those plans to be stable. If you have a stable product, you get customer service, and you can access the benefits you've sold, retention. Our retention rate is at 96%, 14% higher than the industry average. What's important when you're trying to grow your book of business? Retention. If you can't retain what you have, it's really hard to grow every year, right? So, all right. So the changes that we made this year for 2025, we feel will allow us to remain stable in 2026 and 2027. We're not going to have to make any drastic changes. That stability, plus helping you renew your book, is going to position you to capitalize on that opportunity that this disruption is going to bring, okay? Okay, so what are some of those changes that we're going to look at? And I have a lot of slides here. I'm going to try and go through them relatively quickly. I'll try and get done a little early so we can do some questions at the end, if you don't mind. So, all right. So we moved all of our plans to a 0 PCP copay. We had a lot of feedback from you guys in regards to our therapy copay was too high, so we have lowered our copay for therapies on a number of plans. The Value and the Thrive Plus are going to be our highest level of embedded dental, and we'll go through that. Our D-SNP is going to remain a 0 copay for medical as well as prescription, so that'll be nice. Some vendor changes that we're making in 2025. We had some feedback from you guys about the Y not participating in Silver Sneakers anymore, and that caused some disruption. So we're going to go to the OnePass, which completely overlaps the gym memberships or gyms who participate with Silver Sneakers, and includes the Y and some other gyms as well. So there won't be any disruption in regards to that. OnePass does offer Cognifit, so that's the brain, or the gym for the brain, right? All those games and stuff, that app-based benefit that you have. We're going to go from Convey to Links for our OTC. The issues that we ran into with Convey one, the primary one, was they did customer service. So if your client called us for customer service on OTC, we had to ship them over to Convey. That level of service wasn't to our liking. So one of the things that we'll be able to do in moving over to the new OTC vendor is keep customer service in-house. So that's going to be really nice. The other big complaint that we got about this, and the reason that we're looking at a change, was the pricing in the catalog. We're looking at a 30% reduction in price in the catalog for Links. Okay, so a couple of good things there. We're transitioning our PERS devices, our personal emergency response, that's already begun. July 1st. It's going to be done by October 1st. And we're terminating our contract with Papa Pals. Papa Pals had a lot of lawsuits. I think we're one of the last carriers to retain Papa Pals. We have it today, but we're not going to be able to continue it in 2025. Okay? We are going to keep Carallel, which is a telephonic advocacy operation, which is kind of nice. All right, plan expansions. The Thrive and the Thrive Plus is part of our new wellness. One of the things that we've done is we've shrunk our portfolio. We've had too many plans. You guys have been telling us that for many years. So we've shrunk our plan offering. We're going to do some crosswalks. If you have a beneficiary who's being crosswalked to a new plan, you do not have to do anything. They don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. Okay? So we're shrinking our plans, our plan offering, and then we're going to categorize them to help you identify which plans might be best suited for the beneficiary you're talking to at the time. Okay, we're going to try and simplify things for you. We are launching one plan called the Vintage in regions 1, 2, and 5 on our HMO POS platform. We're going to end up with 10 plans. The crosswalks consist of the Compass to the Thrive, the One to the Vintage, the Select to the Merit, and the DSNP Advantage to the DSNP. Some of these plans that you're going to see this certification you've never heard of before, because we have a ton of legacy plans that we've had for years that we didn't even really talk about much anymore. They've had premiums, they've had deductibles. We have a lot of membership in those old plans, and even though the market has migrated to zero premium, zero deductible, people stay for all those reasons that I addressed in the beginning. A good percentage of our book of business are in those legacy plans, even though they're paying a premium. Why do they stay? Because they can access the benefits you sold them. They have great customer service, right? I'm good. So these are the plans and categories that we're going to be offering for 2025, and you can see them here. We'll kind of go through those. And again, I'm trying to do this relatively quick. I know you guys are pretty generous on the time, but there's a lot of info. All right. So another way to kind of categorize our plans for 2025 is zero premium, there'll be a deductible. If there's a deductible, it'll be zero premium. Okay? This is how we're going to solve that problem of the Inflation Reduction Act and allow us to remain stable moving forward. Okay? So we are going to offer a couple of plans with a zero premium, zero deductible in that new plan, the Vintage, and our DSNP product. All right. So I mentioned deductibles. Just because there's a deductible on the medical doesn't mean it gets applied to everything, right? So this is a list that will allow you to see what does that deductible get applied to. All these services along the left, deductible is not going to be applied. Okay, it's the services on the right where that deductible would be applied. This is one of the items that I recommend to all my agents to put a Priority Health folder on your desktop, right? Put a Priority Health folder on your desktop. These slides are actually available in the Agent Center, so you're welcome to take a picture of it. You don't have to. It's available to you in a PDF version. But take these resources like our cell sheets, our EOCs, and put them in your desktop in a Priority Health folder. All of our resources are PDF, and with Control F, you can search that document. The cell sheets is a one-page front and back. It'll answer 90% of the questions that your beneficiary asks you. For those that it doesn't, you'll have the EOC in there because you've downloaded it and you've saved that in that folder. When you're sitting there in front of that client in their kitchen table and you don't have Wi-Fi, you can pull that document out, answer that question. Right? What's that going to do? It's going to allow you to close that sale right then and move on. If you don't do that, you're going to have to say, it's a great question, I'll get back to you. And then you go and get back to them. They don't return your phone calls. You can't schedule another appointment. You got to get another scope. And and that builds up over time. Now you've got 10 clients like that you're trying to get back to, as opposed if you present all this information and give yourself the tools to be successful at that time of the appointment, close the deal then. Right? So all of my agents, I provide these resources. I can't do the EOC because it's 340 pages, right? Our email won't allow us to send those. But they're available in the Agent Center. Go in there, download them, put them in that folder. Now when you're sitting there and you don't have Wi-Fi, you've got all the answers. You've got all the answers. Control F, search whatever they're asking you for, it'll pull it up. And the EOC is what claims get paid by, right? It's the Bible. Okay. We don't want anybody to be stuck with one option and not the other. Okay, so in all of our plans, there will either be a deductible or a premium available to that client no matter what county they're in the Lower Peninsula. They're going to have an option. They aren't going to be stuck with one versus the other. Okay, and that's what these two slides reflect there. All right, so now let's get into what those plans look like. The wellness plans, our product team did some research in regards to what the tail end of the baby boomers, kind of still aging in, if you will, kind of hold in high regard. And what they learned is that they value their physical, mental, and sexual health. So these two plans kind of reflect that research. So these two plans would be great for people aging in, if you will. Both these plans include an additional cancer screening, gym membership, and OTC and a flex allowance for fitness. We lowered the mental health copays. And they also offer hormone therapy and erectile dysfunction drugs. Okay? So that could fall under either physical or mental health, maybe. I don't know. All right, so the Thrive. This is under our wellness plan. Those on the Compass will migrate over to the Thrive. It's a zero premium. You can see, depending on the region, there will be a deductible on the medical. Okay, $240 in regions 1, 2, and 5, $570 in 3 and 4. You can see it's available in every county. What this map is reflecting is the counties that the beneficiary can reside in to be eligible for the plan. Okay? So, zero PCP, like we talked about. A lowered therapy copay down to $25. I think our copays for therapy currently are in the $45 range. So we've cut that in half, lowered to $5, the mental health, zero deductible on the RX, some embedded dental that we'll go over. The Flex card is going to include $60 a quarter for OTC and $185 a year for fitness and wellness, the erectile dysfunction and hormone therapy drugs, and if they choose to do the cancer screening, it's $150. In reverse, so we have the Thrive Plus. So this is previously on the Ideal. The Ideal is one of our legacy plans. They're already paying a premium. In fact, those who migrate over to the Thrive Plus, their premium is going to go down. Okay, their premium is going to go down. But for $39, again, available in every county, and that $39 is for every county, so they don't have to worry about which region and all that. And that, again, is something that I'm going to have you rely on your cell sheets. Right? Your cell sheets has all that information. If you have Wi-Fi at your desk, enter the zip code into the enrollment tool. It'll show you the plans available in that area, the rates. It'll give you all that stuff. One of the tools that we're going to give you to help you renew your book is an interactive PDF. All you do is select a county that the beneficiary resides in. You answer a couple of questions. It'll give you the top 3 plans side by side. That's something that you can use while you're sitting there with your client at their kitchen table. Okay? Put that in that priority health folder, right? All right. So $39, zero medical deductible, the zero PCP, the lowered therapy copay, a zero for mental health, zero on the RX. Our highest level of embedded dental at the $2,000, $50 a quarter for OTC, and $285 for fitness and wellness, and the drugs that we mentioned. And it would be a $75 copay for the cancer screening. The cancer screening is not, it's in addition to any cancer screening that CMS is covering, right? They're not going to do this in place of any cancer screening, it's in addition to. So if you have someone with a family history, they have concerns, these could be some nice plans to take a look at for them. I'm told the value of that is about $1,000. So the copay of $150, $75, not a bad deal. But what does that look like? They'll start with a webinar with Grail, which is the organization who operates that. They'll get sent a kit. They'll schedule a blood draw. The kit gets sent back in. If there's a positive, the PCP is notified. Okay? There is a threshold that has to be met to be eligible for that cancer screening. Whenever there's a benefit that has a threshold that has to be met, my advice is to undersell, over-deliver, right? The bar here is pretty low. The bar here is pretty low. If they have one of these 3, they would be eligible for that cancer screening. HPV diagnosis, smoke or a history of smoking, and a raised BMI. So history of smoking could be I smoked a cigarette in a high school party once. It's not true, I didn't do that, but that's, I had two. So the bar is pretty low, but I just want to make sure that you're aware of that, right? Okay, so our well-rounded plans, you see the key is in there. That's actually the most popular plan in Michigan. There are more beneficiaries enrolled in that plan than any other. It is going to remain a zero copay. It is available in every county. And that's one of the nice things about Priority Health, right? I mentioned our provider directory. We have PPO, HMO, POS, or a DSNP available in every county in the Lower Peninsula. So I tell agents a lot, if we're not your number one carrier, I get it. There's a lot of great carriers out there, right? A lot of good plans. Michigan's a great state to be a beneficiary in. We're a great backup carrier if they're not a good fit for your number one. Because what's the number one reason you don't use your primary carrier? The doctor. The doctor doesn't participate. It's not a big problem with us. 95% of docs, right? Every hospital. So we're a great backup carrier if we're not your primary. Okay, just a little food for thought there. All right, so the key, zero premium. There is a deductible depending on the region. Again, this isn't something you're going to have to memorize. You'll have that interactive PDF. You'll have the cell sheets in that folder, the Priority Health desktop there. Zero PCP that we mentioned. RX deductible at zero. I think this is an area that we're going to compete really well. I think that's an area where a lot of carriers are going to choose to solve that problem of the Inflation Reduction Act, whether it's deductibles, whether it's multiple formulary. We have one provider directory and we have one formulary. That's it. Okay? Clean, simple, make it easy. Those are two things that you can also put in that Priority Health folder. Right? Now, if you do that, those can change over time. So use it as a resource to answer the question right there while you're sitting in front of that client at their kitchen table, but say, you know what, I'm going to verify it when I get back to the office. Formularies can change. Provider directories can change. I don't want you to be in the position of saying, yep, it's on there, and then lo and behold, it's not. The chances of that are very low, but I don't want you to be in that position, okay? But those are some resources that you could put in there as well. So there is going to be some additional embedded dental, as well as OTC benefit, and the lowered therapy copay down to $25. The value, this might be one of those plans you've never heard of before. It's one of our legacy plans. There is a premium tied to it. That premium will range from anywhere from 18 to 69, depending on the region the beneficiary resides in. But again, this plan is available in all counties as well. The MOOP is under 5,000, which is kind of that magical number that people like to see sometimes. Again, zero deductible. This is our other highest embedded dental benefit plan at 2,000, and a really low therapy copay as well. And again, all these slides are available in the Agent Center or in Pinpoint where you registered for this, because you all registered for this, right?
Yeah.
The Vital. All right. Who do I tell to put on the Vital? Hearing aids. That's right. It's a zero copay for hearing aids. If you have someone who needs hearing aids, this is a great plan to start with. I don't know if you'll end up here, but it's a great plan to start. It's a zero copay for hearing aids. This is also our give back plan. We were able to raise that $10. This is our only plan currently in 2024 that has an RX deductible. And the way I told people to sell this plan was not as a give back plan, because it was $35 and there's a lot higher give back plans out there, but to sell it for hearing aids, and that give back would cover the deductible if you needed it to, right? So there will be a medical deductible on this. It will remain a zero premium, and you can see the benefits that are aligned there. It does have some additional embedded dental. The other thing that I'll point out about this plan is an open network, but we have the travel pass on all of our plans, right? Any provider outside the Lower Peninsula accepts Medicare and be billed in network. Why do you need an open network plan? Well, I mentioned there's 5% of providers in the Lower Peninsula that are not contracted. They can access those providers as well. Okay, so a difference, a slight difference, but a difference nevertheless. So that's a nice situation if they need hearing aids, the doctor maybe doesn't participate. I will tell you this though, if the doctor doesn't participate, don't rely on the open network. It can just cause problems, right? Go with a provider who the doctor accepts. I would always tell you that to do that first, okay? If they're not a good fit for Priority Health, don't put them with us, okay? Don't put them with us if they're not a good fit. If they're not a good fit, it's not good for them. And if it's not good for them, it means it's not good for you, right? And then you're going to call me with complaining, and I don't like that. That's no fun, right?
You got a wife.
I got a wife. I got a kid. Although the kid, I embarrass a great deal anymore. So she's 13. She just started middle school. That's a rough age for all of us. Yeah, that's been great. It's been great. All right, so the Vintage. This is the new plan on our HMO POS platform, regions 1, 2, and 5. It is a zero premium, zero deductible, which is nice. The one plan, I want to point this out, the one plan are going to be crosswalked over to the Vintage. Again, nothing has to be done. I will point out a couple of things though. No fitness, no OTC, okay? The one plan is the plan that I recommended for people being redetermined off of DSNP because it looked a lot like DSNP. I will say we were able to retain the transportation for the Vintage, which is great. And we've extended the miles to 100, and we're allowing for reimbursement in 2025 as well. So some good things, but some things I want to point out to make sure that you're aware of, okay? The Edge. Edge is a PPO product, regions 1, 2, and 5. It's a zero premium. It's got a $195 deductible. Again, zero RX deductible. Again, I think this is an area that we're going to compete really well. We got one formulary and no deductibles on our pharmacy except for that Vital plan. That's the only plan that's got a deductible. I think we're going to look really good with providers. We're going to look really good on formulary this year. Okay? And again, that deductible doesn't get applied to everything, right? Keep that in mind. But you can see the plan here for Edge. And how am I doing on time? High medical coverage. Okay, the Merit. This is a legacy plan. It's already got a premium. Those on the Select, which is also a legacy plan, will crosswalk over. I'll just point out a couple of things. $4,100 out-of-pocket match, excellent. Zero deductible, zero PCP, really competitive inpatient, outpatient, right? And you can see the benefits associated with that. So I think how much time do I got left?
25.
Oh man, I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. Okay. So this is our flagship plan, the Priority Medicare. So it already has a premium tied to it, under the $5,000 MOOP. Very, very competitive inpatient, outpatient. Again, zero deductible, preventative. No OTC and a lower therapy copay. So the one plan there that with the, I always like to ask this question. But that one plan there that didn't have the fitness benefit, what do you think the participation is for fitness, for gym membership?
3%.
4%. So all those beneficiaries who say, I've got to have a gym membership, they're lying to you. I think it's optimistic, right? I might go someday. I'll go someday, right?
It's nice to know that it's there.
It's right. It's nice to know that it's there. I might go back someday.
Yeah.
I might not.
They don't want to feel like they're missing something.
Yeah. All right. So the DSNP. Now, part of taking advantage of that disruption in the market is educating your client, right? Setting that expectation. I made the argument in the very beginning where plans started and where they are now. And because of the Inflation Reduction Act, we're going to be on the tail end of that. As these plans change and evolve and start to look even more alike than they do now, what do you think beneficiaries are going to value? Customer service, provider directory, all those things that we excel at, right? We've never been the highest ancillary, we've never been the lowest out of pocket, but we're the #1 carrier, right? I think, not that I would choose to have the Inflation Reduction Act occur if I was given a vote, but I think what this is going to do is it's going to make plans look even more similar and get back to what Medicare was really designed to do, which was medical coverage. That's always been our big sell point. If you have clients that are chasing those ancillary dollars, we're not for them, right? We never were. But if you value being able to see the doctor that you want to see, having good customer service, right? Those are things that keep people in place. Those are things that allow you to retain your book and grow from there, okay? All right, DSNP, some changes on the DSNP. So the DSNP Advantage are going to migrate over to the DSNP plan. It is available in every county. There's a couple things I'm going to point out on the dental on another slide. The Flex Card I'll talk about as well a little bit. They do qualify for PERS. The transportation, we've extended to the 100 miles and included reimbursement. So you can see some of the ancillary benefits there. I already mentioned, based on our filing, we were able to retain zero copay for medical, of course, and then zero copay for pharmacy as well. So that's kind of nice.
Rob,
Yes?
who does Priority use for their transportation?
Safe Ride. Safe Ride. They do allow you to go through Uber, but you have to go through Safe Ride first. You just can't call Uber and do that. So here's what I want to point out here. I know a lot of you guys are aware of this. I know there's quite a few of you in the room who do a fair amount of DSNP. Don't use one carrier's qualifier and sell them with another carrier. The requirements for a carrier's DSNP can vary from one to the other. Okay, so whoever you're going to place that client with, make sure you use their qualifier. All qualifier is to call customer service. Call customer service will tell you. Don't rely on what your client said. Yeah, I'm eligible. Are you? You got to make sure. You got to verify that. Okay, but I want to make sure that you don't do that.
Question.
Yes.
Were any of those plans like available single and step down or anything that were partial dual?
No, you have to be full benefit dual eligible for ours. So, Stephanie already talked about this. I do like to point this out. This is a communication that we've been, I guess we agree with Stephanie's perspective on this. Quarterly SEP for 2024, it's going to go to monthly for 2025, but only for carriers that are considered integrated. We're reporting that there are no integrated carriers in Michigan. So just like Stephanie said, that monthly SEP for DSNP is not going to be there. It's not eliminating any other SEPs, just that SEP, okay? We're reporting that. Now I know there's a carrier out there who's saying that they are integrated and they will be able to do the monthly. All I'm going to say, when there's new legislation like this, it can often be misinterpreted or interpreted differently from one carrier to another. When healthcare reform came through 13 years ago, not every carrier looked at things the same way. So all I'm going to say is do your research, rely on diversity. They're well versed in this area, but look for additional training as well. We agree. There will not be a monthly, we will not be able to do a monthly SEP. It's our understanding that nobody else will as well, but there is a carrier out there who is saying they are. Okay? I just want to make sure that you're aware of that. Yeah. So it does have dental. Yep.
How does that work?
Yep. We'll get into that in just a second. All right. So these slides, these next three slides, just kind of reflect what that interactive PDF is going to look like. Okay, so you select the county that the beneficiary resides in, you answer a couple of questions, it'll give you the top 3 plans side by side. And that's what these 3 are doing here. Alright, so now the embedded extras. This is a nice resource that you can also put into your folder, right, your Priority Health folder. If somebody comes to you with a situation like, I gotta have gym membership, great, pull this out, it'll tell you the ancillary benefits and the plans that accept it. It's just a way of processing and eliminating plans and getting down to the plan that best suits for them, right? So there's a lot of ways to do that. All right, so dental. So I know there's a lot on here. I'll spend a little bit of time on it, and once we walk through it, it'll make a lot of sense, okay? So we do use Delta Dental. I'm starting to lose my voice again. So we do use Delta Dental, PPO, and Premier Networks, okay? PPO and Premier Networks. What we've done is we've categorized 3 tiers here. Tier 1 is the Merit, the Edge, and the Vintage. Our embedded benefits remain the same. All of our plans come with cleanings and x-rays covered at 100%. There's no cap, okay? If those on Tier 1, the Merit, the Edge, and the Vintage, choose to enroll in the Enhanced Dental and Vision, they will get for $49 a month, $2,500 benefit for these services under comprehensive. I want to point out that bridges are not included. Okay? If you enroll in Tier 2, the Key, the Vital, and the Thrive, same embedded benefits here, but we've expanded it. We've expanded what's embedded. The cleanings and the x-rays covered the exact same way. But they would get $1,500 of comprehensive benefits for simple extractions, fillings, and crown repairs. If these individuals choose to enroll in the Enhanced Dental and Vision for $39, they would spend $2,500 on these comprehensive benefits. Okay? Again, bridges not included there. That same concept we're continuing through for those two plans that we brought up, the Value and the Thrive Plus. We've simply expanded what's embedded as well, and for $2,000. Okay? To include crowns, root canals, the fillings, crown repairs, and simple extractions. Embedded. If these people choose to enroll in the Enhanced Dental and Vision, for $4,500 combined, $37 a month premium, they would get all of those comprehensive for $4,500 combined. Okay? Unlike this, where you have the $1,500 and the $2,500. So that would be combined, but it does include also the bridges. Okay?
Is $1,500 for $2,500 to add? Or is it?
Nope.
Does not count.
This is embedded.
Right.
They're going to get that benefit. This is in addition to if they enroll in here.
But will it combine to $4,000?
It could.
Okay.
It could, depending on how they use it. Could.
Okay.
Yep. So they could spend $2,500 here, $1,500 here, and it would take you to the $4,000. So potentially they could.
It adds up. It adds to it.
Correct. If it's used under that particular category. Now on the DSNP, our DSNP, we also use Delta Dental, PPO network only, and this is a change. This is a change for 2025. They can access that provider directory for embedded cleanings and x-rays, preventative. If they seek services under the comprehensive, it would be through their Medicaid benefits and a Medicaid dentist. Okay? So that's a change from today.
How do they bill? How does the dentist bill that?
What do you mean, how does a dentist bill?
Medicaid is like the secondary.
They don't have any problem billing. I'll tell you that.
If you can give it secondary, then they can bypass out the basic plan.
It's a Medicaid benefit. There's no secondary, it's a Medicaid benefit.
Hey, Rob, now for the implants, 50%, is that for the Tier 3 and Tier 2, or is that just for the Tier 3?
Which plan are you talking about?
I'm talking about Tier 3 for the implants.
Oh, Tier 3? Tier 3. So which benefit are you talking about?
For the implants. Is
For
there
implants? So implants, they would have to purchase the Enhanced Dental and Vision.
okay?
And it would, and they could spend $4,500.
Okay,
towards
is that on the number 2 as well?
So on Tier 2, implants, they would have to do implants, they would have to do the Enhanced Dental and Vision, and they could spend $2,500 towards it.
Okay, so as long as they do the enhanced, then they can get the implant.
Right. Yep.
Because inquiring minds want to know, why do you get less and spend more in your premium than you get more and you spend less on your premium?
Because we're embedding more in the plan. The reason that this is more is because we're embedding less. We're embedding more in the plan itself. So it's two separate plans. The medical plan and what's embedded and what you're adding to it. You're adding less to this because this is embedded.
Oh.
So the premium is less. Right?
Gotcha.
So this is a nice sheet to have in that folder, in that Priority Health folder, right? We do an excellent job, I think, when you have your website and you're doing the enrollment tool, as far as if you elect the Enhanced Dental and Vision benefits, what's added to it. You click yes, and it gives you a list of all the services covered. But you're not going to have that if you're sitting in front of your client without Wi-Fi. But you can have this, right? You can have this. Okay, how are we doing on time now? 15? Okay, all right, I can wrap it up at 15. All right, No real changes to vision and True Hearing. The one thing I want to point out here is True Hearing, they will not submit for reimbursement. Make sure your client goes through True Hearing to access that benefit. They will not have benefits otherwise. Okay? The OTC, we've talked about a little bit already. A couple of things. We'll have customer service in-house, which will be nice, right? The 30% reduction in prices with items in the catalog. One of the things that we're going to do, which we've done the last few years, we're going to do again this year, everyone who certifies with us prior to the 16th of September is going to receive on their doorstep on September 27th 6 to 8 enrollment kits, as well as an OTC catalog and other supporting documents. We've done this the last few years. Shows up on your doorstep on the 27th. It's a really nice thing to have things in hand, right? The OTC catalog will be there. Your client will ask you for it. Do not give it to them. Okay? This is what you're going to get. I need it because I'm going to show my next client, right? But it's nice to have that as a resource. The app is going to be Priority Health logoed, so there won't be any confusion about which app to download like there was through Convey. You can see they can access, the benefit's going to function the exact same way, right? Okay, the Flex Card. The Flex Card, these are for the wellness plans. So remember the wellness plans that we talked about? It's going to be one card, 2 buckets. 2 buckets under the one card. The card will know which bucket to pull from. This is not a submit for reimbursement like you've seen in the past. The funds are on the card. If the card swipes it, you're good. If it doesn't, you're not good. You don't have to wait for reimbursement or be told that something will be reimbursed and it doesn't. Okay? So I want to point that out. OTC is going to function like normal. The Flex Card, the fitness equipment are going to be things like weights. You're not going to oversell this. Okay? We're not going to oversell this. Fitness facilities are things like if that gym charges a fee to participate in a class, right? Or nutrition support would be things like Weight Watchers. Okay? For the DSNP, it's 1 card, 1 purse, $70 a month, and that one $70 a month purse can be applied towards any of the services that you see here. Okay? So 1 card, 1 purse.
Just to verify, gas does not mean gas at the pump, correct?
Say that again?
Gas does not mean gas at the pump, correct?
That is correct. So the question was, does gas mean gas at the pump? No, it doesn't. Utilities.
Hey, Rob.
It would be nice because gas prices are kind of high.
That Helpers Bee that you got there,
Yeah.
is that something similar to Papa?
No, Helpers Bee is a contracted company, and they do things like pest control. I've never heard of them before, but yeah. It's not Papa. Papa is there were too many lawsuits with Papa. The example that I gave, I swear to God, my very first certification that I did this year, I had an agent say that the Papa Pal was coming into his client's home and trying on her dresses.
Oh my God.
That's not, you don't have to pay extra for that, no. Comment from the front row there. So, I mean, that's just one example, right? There was a lot of law. I think we were one of the last carriers to retain Papa Pals. And to be honest with you, Papa Pals was my favorite benefit. The number of different benefits that your client could have, everything from meal prep to light yard work to transportation to just companionship, I thought it was a great benefit. I'm sorry to see it go, but I don't know anyone who still has it. There's just a lot, there's a lot going on there, okay? Fitness, the One Pass we've talked about already. I'll just point out a couple of things. It does include the Y, Planet Fitness, and then some like boutique gyms, Pure Barre, Orange Theory, Stretch Lab. If you have a client that doesn't like going to the gym but they want to work out, you can have a kit sent to them, and the categories of those kits would include strength, yoga, and a dance kit. I'm kind of curious to see what's going to be in the dance kit. I don't know. It's simmer down now. Yeah.
Only special dance?
Say that again?
Is it only special gyms?
It's not only special gyms, no. No, so if the gym already participates with Silver Sneakers, it also participates with OnePass.
Do they have to redo anything, or is it just roll over if they're already with?
I don't know the answer to that yet. Generally speaking, what we can do with these, if the company has the technology available, is send them a spreadsheet of members. Right? I've not been trained on what that transition is going to look like. I'm hoping that's what it'll look like, so the client doesn't have to do anything. They'll get it in their ANOC, right, and that type of thing. So, but I don't have that information yet. We will come out with that shortly. We'll also come out with a flyer, right? We're going to have flyers for these. We don't have them yet. I know there's a lot of carriers that are still doing first looks. You know, we're giving you everything we can when we can, because we want you to be prepared. We want you to have those conversations with your client. Out in front. Get out in front of this. That's what's going to create opportunity for you when there's disruption.
I just want you to just clarify and verify that the YMCA is going to be in the OnePass.
So the whys are, I would search. I don't know if all, because I think there's some individual ownership there, but I'm told the whys do participate. I would still search just to make sure though. Okay, because I don't want you to be in the position of, yeah, and there's some wonky situation where that gym doesn't, right? Okay. Transportation, just a couple things I'll point out here. We've expanded the miles to 100. We also are allowing for reimbursement for 2025. Carol, this is going to be a nice benefit. This is the telephonic advocacy. It's unlimited. Unlimited hours. They can call every day if they want to. What they're going to do is advocate for your client. If they're not enrolled in a benefit that they might be eligible for, they're going to advocate on their behalf to make sure they are enrolled in any of those benefits they're not, that they might be eligible for. The other thing that I'll point out real quick here too is the virtual support groups. I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but virtual support group, unlimited hours, that's kind of cool. Like, that's kind of nice. Right? PERS, we've kind of talked about. Travel Pass. The only thing I'll add to the Travel Pass, the only plan the Travel Pass is not on is the DSNP. The Travel Pass is on every one of our plans, PPO, HMO, POS. Okay? Again, access to providers who accept Medicare outside the Lower Peninsula within the United States, be billed as in-network. Any state, we do not limit the state. There are some carriers who offer a version of this and say you have to go to these states. We don't have that limitation. Any state. Up to 12 months a year. If you have someone who travels, you're going to want to look at us first. We might not be the perfect fit, you might put them somewhere else, but if you have someone who travels, they can go to any state in the U.S. up to 12 months a year and be on our MAPD product, right? If they're like my parents, they started going to Florida 3 months a year, 3 months a year became 5. Ken doesn't come back until he's got it certified, I guess, you know. So, if you have someone who travels, we're a great carrier to start with. Even if they travel outside the U.S., I think we're one of the few carriers that still do unlimited urgent and emergent care. A lot of them migrated to that $50,000 max, minimum max.
Yeah.
Okay, so if they travel, take a look at us. Again, I don't know if we'll be the perfect fit for them, but that's something to look at. Okay, very few changes to our pharmacy. I think this is an area that we're going to really excel at this year. So if you do have someone who pharmacy, hopefully CMS will get our formulary correct this year. They've gotten it wrong the last 2 years. We're often found on the second or third page as a result. I'm hoping they get it correct this year. We should look really good on pharmacy. We've chose some other solutions. I think this is an area where carriers are going to look to solve that Inflation Reduction Act solution, right? So we should look really good here. Just a reminder, we've got those drugs for the erectile dysfunction. These, because they're not a Medicare benefit, will not go towards that $2,000. Okay? So just keep that in mind. What's that?
Is that what?
What? So, because that's not a Medicare covered benefit, it's not going to go towards that out-of-pocket max. Inflation Reduction Act, we've talked a lot about. Disruption is coming. Disruption creates opportunity. Medigap. Okay, I'm assuming we don't have any questions on the Inflation Reduction Act at this point. Medigap. We're looking at 11% increase for 2025. I think that's very competitive, especially when we're going to retain the 6.5% reduction for new to priority. and the 12% reduction for people who reside under the same household. We do a 12-month guarantee, so it's a plan renewal, not a calendar renewal. You don't have to be a member of an association to enroll. We have discounts. I think this is where we don't compete as well in this area is we have discounts as opposed to like memberships. We've been asking for dental and vision to be tied to our Medigap plans. Every year we ask, every year they tell us no. Why? I don't know. We asked again this year. But this is an area that we've been selling quite a bit. Our rates are looking competitive as a result. What is that market going to look like? I don't know. I don't know, because the PDP market's going to have some disruption too, right? So, we'll see. All right, what do I got left? I think that's about it, guys. So this just kind of speaks to a few of the things that I've already talked about a little bit. Some of the things that we're going to do to try and support you, help you renew your book of business. The ANOC videos that you can choose to send out, again, through any of those communications that we have to your client, through you, and they call us. If your client calls us for any reason at all, and we renew them, you remain agent of record. We're going to help you renew your book. We're going to get your book set aside, position you to see success for this disruption through Inflation Reduction Act, okay? We're going to be stable in 2026, 2027. You're going to put them with us, put them aside, and grow your book, all right? All right, any questions? I think that's about it.
Yeah, where can you find the ANOC videos and the agent?
They're going to get sent to you. We can't send them too soon because you can't share them, right? We can't trust you guys. You'll send them out.
So when they are available, will they be in Pinpoint? Or will they be in...
I'm not sure how we're going to distribute those to you. Is it going to be via email? Is it going to be access into your agent center somehow? It's a good question. I don't have the answer to that.
But everything else is in the agent center?
All of the resources are in the agent center, yeah. And for those of you who don't know, there's a lot of communications that are CMS approved, Priority Health approved in your agent center. They've been there all year long. I send them to my clients. Social media posts that are approved, flyers that are approved, note cards that are approved. It's all there. We even give you templates. We give you formats to follow if you want to create your own. There's a lot of great resources in the agent center. You spend a couple of minutes in there looking around, you'd be amazed at what you find and the resources available to you to help you grow your book. Okay? Thank you guys, I appreciate it. Thank you, Diversity.